this video, I'm going to show you how to use a feature constraint as a point control. And the example that I'm going to use is the guardrail blister. So once this guardrail blister is drawn in my plan file, I reference that to my corridor file. And here I'm already in my corridor file. And one unique thing about using feature definitions as point controls is you have to add them as a corridor reference if you want a point constraint to target a feature definition. So once I have my corridor file open and I went to the corridor modeling tasks, there's a command down here that says add corridor reference. I'm going to select that. First thing it asks me is to locate my corridor. So I'm going to locate the corridor I need to add the reference to. It says locate my first reference, and I'm just going to show you the guardrail blister. So I'm just going to add the one. Go ahead and reset to complete. And now it's adding that feature to my corridor, allowing me to use a point control to target that. So now I need to look at my corridor objects, and I can do that two ways. I can either do it through the corridor modeling tasks and then select in the corridor objects dialog, or I can select the corridor itself and then have the dynamic display, heads up display, and select it through there. Once my corridor objects dialog is open, I'm just going to go to the external reference just to make sure that it's been added to the corridor, allowing me to target it. So once I select external reference, you can see the left underbar SET. That's the name of the feature. Once that happens, now we're ready to take and create a point control. So I'm just going to select add new. I'm just going to select the beginning of the blister, and I'm going to select the end station for my blister on the left side. The control descriptions is going to be left underbar SET. I like those to be the same name as the point constraint in my template. I'm going to accept that. The mode will be horizontal. I want my point constraint to target it only in the horizontal direction. And then the control type won't be linear geometry, it will be feature definition. So I'm going to select feature definition. The point's going to be left underbar SET, which is the point that's found in my template. Accept that. And now I'm going to select in the dialog the feature definition I want to target with the point constraint left underbar SET. And I know that that is called DSN guardrail blister. So now I'm going to accept. And here it's important that you want to specify a range. So the range I'm going to select is going to be -50. So how the range works is whatever the offset is for the point constraint in your template, so let's say it's 20, and then I'm going to put a range of 50. So it's going to look 50 feet out from the offset of that point constraint in your template, and we'll come back to that. But I'm going to go ahead and select a range of 50. I'm not going to use a secondary alignment. Priority is 1. And I'm not going to change the horizontal offsets of the original element. So I'm just going to accept through those. So we can see in our point control that it added our point control for the left underbar SET as a feature definition. I'm going to close this list box here, or dialog. I'm going to go ahead and open up my 3D view and see if those changes took place. So I can already see that the guardrail blister now is following that feature. I'll change my view attributes. So here's my guardrail blister, and that looks like it's following the feature definition. Another good way that I like to use to check that is just to turn on those 3D elements or those 3D features in my 2D view. So with my 2D view selected, I'm going to go ahead and open up my level display. I'm going to select the 3D model that's attached to that view. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my 3D elements that get drawn from my template. You can see it matches right up with that guardrail blister. But if you notice something, notice how that 3D element is not following my feature. I'm going to show you why that is. If I open up my Corridor template dialog here, here's my template. Here's the left SET point constraint. And if you notice, the offset says negative 25.547. So the way that that range works is it looks 50 feet from the offset of the point constraint. So it's the offset of the point constraint from the origin. So if we hover back over left under our SET again, the offset is 25 feet. And we told it to look from 25 feet to another 50. So really, that's our 50-foot range that we're looking. So why isn't it finding that feature definition? And that's because this guardrail blister is less than 25 feet from our center line. So you can fix that by changing your point constraint in your template. So we could come back in our template and change the constraints. Let's just say that it's a foot. And so we've essentially moved that in to be now negative 22.547 there. We'll save that. Take a minute. So once we adjusted our template, what we're trying to do is get the SET point constraint to be inside of that feature definition for that feature, for it to pick it up as the point control. So now we have to synchronize our template since we made a change. So the way to do that is you can select the template range here, and then you'll see the little template with looks like a lightning bolt synchronized with library. I'm just going to select that. Oh, it wasn't that template. It was this one. I'm just syncing the template. There it goes. So now you can see that 3D feature is right on top of the guardrail blister feature from our plan view. We can look at that in 3D. Yep. Now you can see it matches right up with our slope protection here. So that's one way to do a point control with feature definitions.